Hello, everybody. This is Hondo Carpenter. I am your Las Vegas Raiders beat writer on SI and the host of the Las Vegas Raiders Insider podcast. I'm here at Empower Field in Denver. I'm going to show you. There's the stadium. It's all dark, obviously. The game's over, and Raiders lose. Just pitiful. 10-7. A lot in this game that was really good and a lot that was horrific. So let's start with with facts. Third game, this Jacksonville and Chicago that they should have won. That would have had them at 5-4. Instead, they're at 2-7. Um, your quarterback gets hurt on one leg. Colton Miller, your starting left tackle, is out for the year, and you lose both of your starting guards. He's injured. He's limping, can hardly walk, and you don't go with your backup quarterback. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a future Hall of Fame head coach. I don't care. That is nonsensical to me. The guy is limping. Well, and when he was at and when Pete was asked after the game, he's like, "Well, yeah, he wanted to go back in." Well, great if he wanted to go back in. He he's on one leg, down. Well, I guess you can't say he's down Colton, although he is down Colton. He's got a backup left tackle and two backup guards against the best attacking defense, rushing, meaning not rushing as in a running back, but them going after the quarterback in the NFL, and you keep him out there. You don't go with Kenny. Now, I'm not pretending Kenny is the answer, but at what point do you just say, yeah, we're not going to win with Gino on one leg? Now, this does not mean uh, that to me was nonsensical. Now, I'm going to tell you the reality, and this is just reality. They don't believe in Kenny Pickett at all. Because when you're going against the best quarterback attacking defense on the road in the NFL, and you're down your starting left tackle, so you have a backup left tackle, and you lose your two starting guards, and you keep a one legged quarterback in. Okay, obviously he had two legs, but he's clearly injured, and you don't go with Kenny Pickett. I hope Kenny Pickett's renting because that tells you what the organization thinks of him. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you. Here's a cup of coffee. We got nothing. I, I, I wish I could just show you my phone. I'm going to come out and say this. That defense was phenomenal. They were not good. They were phenomenal. They gave up 7 points. And even then, you could make an argument. I mean, Raiders make huge mistake. They get the ball in the Raiders' territory, go backwards 3 plays, then have to kick a field goal. That's not on the defense. That's the defense doing great. Can we now end the ignorance of Patrick Graham sucks? That is so stupid. I'm getting texts and stuff from NFL people. Think those fans will finally realize what they have in Patrick? I mean, last week, for essentially 3 quarters, they shut down Jacksonville. But they couldn't get a break. And so the game's over, and Jacksonville had the ball 15 minutes. That's an extra quarter that the defense was on the field. Tonight, time of possession was just about basically even because the Raiders' defense was just stingy. I mean, stingy. They were phenomenal. Big props. Okay. Let's go talk about some other things. I thought Chip Kelly came out with a really good game plan, and I thought he called a really good game early. Really good game. I'm going to give him all the props in the world. They attacked. They were really good. And then 4 big mistakes by 3 offensive rookies. Jack Besh gets a penalty that killed the drive. I mean, the Broncos were not stopping the Raiders. They were in total command. At least 3, I think that's a 7-point drive. If it's 7, they just won the ball game. If it's 3, it's tied and we're still playing. Dante gets a terrible penalty. That's terrible. A big play brought back. Then Dante gets a perfect pass, last drive of the first half, that would have put the Raiders clearly in field goal, but they had opportunities to go in, would have had opportunities to score a touchdown. So let's just say 3 there. And I know woulds, shoulds, and coulds don't count for anything. That and $30 will get you a small coffee at Starbucks. But big mistake by the rookie. So he has a hold, and then he gets a drop pass, and then Ashton has the ball hit him in the hands. It goes up in the air. Now listen, I'm not picking on the rookies. Rookies are going to make rookie mistakes. It's why I say to you every year, you don't trust rookies because rookies make rookie mistakes. I want to look at something real quick. I mean, Geno's only interception was really, it should have been on Ashton. I'm not picking on Jack. I'm not picking on Dante. But do you all see why Dante wasn't dressed last week? I told you it started when San Francisco came in for joint practices before the exhibition game. He just and hasn't done anything. I mean, that ball, it was uncontested. Uncontested. Oh. Besh struggling to get on the field and then huge penalties. Ashton, he's done enough good. I'm not even going to go after it. My point is, this is a very frustrating. Now, I'm not a fan, but I guarantee you that's a frustrating one for the locker room. I mean, hardly anybody in the locker room wanted to talk, and the play calling baffles me. At halftime, I didn't get to see it on television, but several of you commented. Pete tells them, we got to run the football. I agree, by the way. So let's talk about it. Geno had 26 passes and 25 rushing attempts. Excuse me, yeah. So it's pretty balanced. I'm okay with it. I'm going to say this to you. I don't understand the going away from Ashton. I don't understand that. I mean, I'm looking here and you're not going to have time to throw the ball. And I look at Ashton, 19 carries for 60 yards, 3.2. That's Pete's call on the quarterback. That's not on Chip. But it clearly is they don't have any confidence in Kenny Pickett. I mean, they basically just said to Kenny Pickett, gee, thanks for the invite to prom. I'll let you know the night before if I'm going with you. Essentially, okay, if no one's left who can play, we'll give you a shot. Aiden O'Connell, you might as well dress next Monday night. Makes it is what it is. But if you're that defense, you have to be absolutely deflated. They're not going to say it publicly. That's not the way this team is. It's not the way the character of these men are. They're still fighting. Even, I had some people tweeting at me about Geno being terrible. I mean, he's on one leg. I'm not pretending he had been fantastic. Okay. I thought he was pretty good in the first half. I mean, he can't make Thornton catch it, and he was wide open and put it in his hands. He can't make guys not have penalties. he hits the Ashton in the hands with the ball and it just goes up in the air. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This loss tonight sits on coaching and management. You say, what do you mean? How can it be on management? If your coaches put a one legged, gimpy guy against the best attack, quarterback attacking defense, and don't go with the backup, then either they didn't communicate to you that, hey, this guy's not going to work. You got to go get somebody else. Or, hey, we just don't believe in him. So let's put Cam Miller up there or let's do something. Or if they did and you didn't come up with a plan, this was a very good football team. I don't think the Broncos are great. I don't think they're going to a Super Bowl. I've told you ever since they selected Bo Nix, I think Bo's a great kid. But let's not pretend that Bo Nix is Kenny Stabler or that he's Patrick Mahomes. He's not. He has a very good coach that protects him, only asks him to do what he can do. And then you got a one-legged quarterback, and they're like, "Oh dear God, we can't go to the backup." Now they didn't say that. That's me. But how else are you supposed to interpret it? I mean, not playing Kenny on a bum leg. Well, not playing Kenny when Gino's got a bum leg. It's like when the girl from Dumb and Dumber looks at Jim Carrey and he says, "So you're saying there's a chance?" No, she's clearly telling you there's no chance. I just a lot of decisions here. I don't make sense to me. JPJ went down with what looked like a horrific injury. Um, if you're a person of faith, say a prayer for him. He's a great kid. And Dylan Parham goes down, tried to come back. Gino was willing to come back. Yeah, God bless Gino. Say whatever you want about him, but he was hurting and was willing to play. And but that's when if your mottos compete, that's when you have to say, listen, Gino, I got more confidence in you than Pickett, but not on one leg. You don't think you're going to have people on this team like, okay, if we're not letting Pickett go when he's on one leg, do we need to look somewhere else? Now, you don't want to give anything up. Trade deadline's over. But the guy's on one leg. Now, again, I got a lot of questions. The offense went 7 possessions in a row with 0 first downs. I had no clue about it. I had an NFL coach text me, a coordinator actually text me. He goes, "Wow, 7 possessions without a first down. What is wrong with the Raiders?" You got Richie Incognito going on Twitter calling him out. God bless Richie. I love Richie, man. Love that guy. And it just nonsensical. It, it this is the third time this year where it has clearly appeared they let victory slip through the grasp. And I'm going to say this 100%. None of this was on the defense. Now, I know they're going to say we win and lose as a team. I don't give a crap. It's not, no, this had nothing to do with the defense. This is rookies making rookie mistakes, which I'm fine with. I don't have a problem with that. And I've told you that the whole 6 years I've been covering this team, and I'm not going to change. It's frustrating for them and for you, but that's the reality of playing rookies, number one. But some of the play call, you got Brock Bowers, who is a unicorn. 1 catch, 3 targets. Let me just look at something. I want to make sure I get this stat right. Yeah, stats right. 26 passing attempts. You don't have Jacoby. Dante has the yips. Let me just look at this. I want to make sure. Yep, I'm right. Dante Thornton had 2 targets, only caught 1. Jack Besh, 1 target, nothing. So your 2 rookies aren't even essentially there. And there were plays where Gino's going right to Tyler. Now, could it be I'm injured? I don't have time to wait for Brock to get open. Maybe. But if you're going to play, I don't want to hear injury as the excuse. Don't want to hear it. That dog don't hunt with me. If you're on the field, play. And if you can't perform, then put the next guy in. Period. And you have Brock Bowers and you just lost a game 10-7. That's like saying you can't find any food with a pocket full of $100 bills at a buffet. Really? You're at Golden Corral with a fistful of hundreds and you can't get a meal. Brock Bowers, 1 catch. Uno. 1. Sorry. Nonsensical. And I'm going to tell you this. God bless the toughness of Gino. Gutting it out. I'm not going to question that guy's toughness. You want to question his play, you have every right. But not his toughness. But this team just finds ways to lose. And then afterwards, Gino, God bless him, going out and addressing the media, and I give him credit for that. You know, it's always darkest before the dawn. We're going to turn this thing around. What do you mean it's week 10 and you're 2-7? How do you turn it around? Do you win the next 8? No, I'm your death angel. No, you're not. And I understand, and I'm going to defend the players for a minute. What are they supposed to say? Yeah, we saw. No. And to their credit, not one of them have quit. But I'm going to ask you this question. Remember I said a few weeks ago, why are you playing Max? What if Max would have been the one that got injured tonight instead of JPJ? A serious, major injury. At least that's what it appeared to be. At some point, you got to just say, okay, listen, it's over. It's over. Let's just go all in. And let's go all in. But I'm going to credit Chip for that first half. Again, thought he was very aggressive. I thought he was very creative. Second half, I got some issues. But I thought it was the best half of football the Raiders have played. And yet still, it goes back to Wednesday when I asked Pete Carroll, your team has not performed, had a complete game yet. You had a pretty good complete half. Not great, but the best half you've had considering the level of this defense. Doesn't make sense. Now they have another mini bye because they don't play till Monday night. And I really believe if I'm Mark Davis, I am letting Brady, I am letting everybody know we're meeting Friday morning. And I want a plan for how are we going to salvage something good. Okay. First thing is your 3 rookie guys made 4 mistakes. I think that's okay. You say, why is that okay, Hunter? Well, because you're not going to win this season anyway. So let them get that out of their system now. Let them just get the reps, get the experience, and learn. Okay. Special teams, special teams. There's a reason I shower with the lights off. I'm not an attractive man. Can we just start watching Raiders special teams with the lights off? It's horrible. And here is the frustrating part. I'm going to defend Pete for a minute. Tom McMahon was a guy at one point so very widely respected. Rich Bisaccia is considered the best special teams coach in the NFL, and Tom is considered the second best. So they didn't retain Rich, and they bring in Tom McMahon. Fine, I was critical of it at the time, but I said also, but it doesn't mean McMahon's a bad coach. They're terrible this year. Daniel Carlson's in a slump. I asked Pete on Wednesday about Daniel Carlson, and tonight he got asked, and even Pete, who's ever the optimist, he's just got to start making kicks. Tonight was the first time, in my opinion, you could see. I've always felt Pete was frustrated because he's a winner, and winners don't take losing well. Show me somebody that takes losing well, and I'll show you a loser. And he's always done a very good job, in my opinion, though, of walking up, being the optimist. But tonight it was the first time where, in my opinion, you could tell it's wearing on him. I did not go in the locker room because I was waiting for Gino. Again, my colleagues said hardly anybody even talked. When they're not talking, it's because they got nothing left to say. I don't blame the players one bit. I don't blame the players one bit. And if you're a Raider fan, to lose and feel like you left a lot on the table, that's a painful. If you come up here and you continued to call the game the way that you did in the first half, and you battled and fought, and it ended up being a 17-14 loss. This is the Raiders. They're not going to look for silver linings, but they would all be like, wow, really good performance. Good performance. The team is making progress. No. Your defense just totally shut down Denver, and you left points on the board. Lots of points. Rookie mistakes, but lots of points. But there are several places in the game where you look at certain play calling, especially in the second half, and you're like, what are you doing? Where is Brock Bowers? Bueller? It, 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 it is nonsensical. You have a healthy Brock Bowers in a 10-7 loss, 3 targets, 1 catch. I don't get it. And just going to leave you with this. I think they did a lot of good tonight, but there was just a lot of bad, and it just seems like the Raiders cannot get out of their own way. Gino, again, back to him. God bless the guy. He talked about the Raiders have to stop beating the Raiders. That's a paraphrase, but I put the video up. You can go watch it. I mean, Raiders have to stop beating the Raiders. That's a mark of a poorly coached team. I'm sorry, but between now and Monday night against Dallas, Pete's going to have to do something about special teams. I'm not going to say what. I'm not the future Hall of Fame coach. He is. He is. But you just can't let it continue to happen. You can't. The definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing and expect different results. Something's got to change. I think the offense, you look and, at halftime, need to run the ball more. They got to get that working. But when you lose both of your interior offensive linemen, talking about your guards, obviously not the center, that's going to change play calling. And so, and in my attempt to be fair, I thought the first half play calling was pretty good. And I I don't get it. I'm not even going to pretend. What we all just saw, and you have to show your fan base. I mean, let me just say this. So next Monday night, not this coming Monday, but the next one when they play Dallas, it is going to be a Dallas home game. Literally after the game, I got text from a buddy of mine. He's a pastor in South Texas, and he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna fly in. Can I stay with you for the next Monday night game?" He's a big Dallas fan, and I'm like, "Already got a bunch of people coming in. Family members who are Dallas fans, other friends of mine who are Dallas fans. Another guy is a high school coach, good friend of mine, a very successful high school coach in Texas. I mean, it's going to be a home game. It's not going to be a Raider crowd at all. It's going to be a Dallas. It's going to be Jerry's World West. And I said this to you a few weeks ago. They can beat anyone on their schedule. But they can't get a game. The defense has had multiple games where they played great the whole game. They've had multiple games where they played great most of it, and this ran out of gas because the offense could do nothing. Ryan McFadden of ESPN, great reporter, by the way, great young man, asked Pete about his offense. You have an NFL franchise, and you just scored 7. Yeah, but Hondo, the 2 guards got hurt, and it's one of the best defenses. I agree. That's Jermaine. But you still only scored 7. If you would have underperformed and got 14, you win tonight. Raider Nation is throwing a party. They're through the roof. And I've been telling you this since the offseason, since training camp started. They have to win their fans back. But I'm going to tell you something. Some of y'all, though, need to start putting some respect on Patrick Graham. Caillou Blue Kelly, 2 interceptions tonight. What a good kid. Good kid and a hometown kid, Vegas kid, 2 interceptions. But you just saw what should be a very troubling game. If this team is healthy, they're an 8-9 win team, which is what I told you at the beginning of the season. But man, when you let games slip, winning games in the NFL is so it's so precious that when you let Bears, Jacksonville, and then this one just slide away. Brutal. Brutal. I told Raider fans on Wednesday, tune in to watch your young players. And I think you saw 3 of them make rookie mistakes. One of them in Brock Bowers, I had one person send me a text. Are they using him as a decoy? LOL. Okay. It's just discombobulated right now. And there should be some order here. This is week 10. This team should be not shooting themselves repeatedly in the foot. You see improvement some places and then backwards. This This one doesn't hurt. I wouldn't think this one would hurt. It isn't one of the worst losses that the Raiders have had. It was just one, it was an opportunity lost. Opportunity lost. And that's disappointing. And I'm going to tell you why it's disappointing. It's disappointing for you, the fans, first and foremost. It's disappointing for Mark Davis, who's doing everything that he physically can do. But it's disappointing for the players. If they'd quit, that would be bad. But they're not. That offense and those special teams guys need to go in and shake the hand of every defensive player. Because those are the ones probably hurting the most tonight. 3 games. 5-4 is a heck of a lot different than 2-7 going into week 11. So what's my final analysis and recap? Golden opportunity lost. I got nothing. The disappearance of Brock Bowers and question marks about an offense. It's a reality. Doesn't make sense. But I'm not paid to make sense of it. I'm just paid to let you know. Doesn't make sense from here either. God bless y'all.